Listen, I don't know who don't want me to be great, but I can't try to figure that out now. I cannot try to figure that out now. Thank you so much, Pookie. I really appreciate it for letting me know that my mic is still not working. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on. And really and truly, I don't care because we got a show review to do today. So let's try this one more time. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And welcome back to the Operation Hill One Charge channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last week they had episode number 5, A Reasonable Doubt. And I told y'all I was coming down to the round table so we could discuss it. So let's get into this review. Once again, we are on season 3, A Reasonable Doubt. This is episode number 5. And the name of the episode is called Threats. You could honestly see why too. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, now let's get into this doggone review, right? First of all, the episode starts off in this day one of Ozzy's trial, right? So Jackson, the prosecutor, they're delivering their opening statements, right? The prosecution is letting the jury know that Ozzy is a murderer, and Jackson is letting them know, absolutely not. My client did no such thing, right? So then after that first day of the trial, when they gave the opening statements, Jax heads over to Ozzy's house to discuss with him how they could let the jury know, listen, you was nowhere near the cottage that night of white girl Wendy's unaliving. So we really got to get these people to understand you were not there and you did not commit that crime. Well, Daniel pointed out that Ozzy could have been streaming that night, and whatever he was streaming, there would be a watch history with timestamps, and they could get it's linked to an IP address. So they was like, okay. Ozzy was like, yeah, I probably was streaming that night. You know me. And Jack said she needed the logins for Ozzy's passwords for all of the things that he streams off of, right? Kristen, the sister who's always there, like the inch high private eye, was like, he has none of them. I do, right? So while Daniel helps Kristen get to the passwords so they can give them to Jax starts talking to Ozzy about Monica, right? So first off, Ozzy was like, what are you talking about, Monica? I never told you that she was the one that was messing with me and all of that. She said you didn't have to. You just admitted it right now. So I just want to know what's going on and when is this going to stop, right? Jack said the relationship that you share with her is a trigger for you, and to escape it, that's why you keep getting high, right? And Jax asked if Monica was with him the night of the unaliving the white girl Wendy. So he was like, no, she was not, right? She said, well, then who the hell was with you? He said, nobody. And then Jax asked if she could keep the Monica, and then Ozzy asked Jax if she could keep the Monica revelation to herself because he doesn't want his parents to know, because he doesn't want to further stress his parents out. Y'all remember Monica is she manages Ozzy, but she's also been molesting him as well, right? So Jax was like, fine, you have my word as my client. I will not share this information with your parents, right? So while Kristen is looking for the password, Daniel sees that she has a lot of missed calls because she's going through her phone from somebody named Fuck No, right? And he asks, listen, is Fuck No somebody that I should be jealous of? So Kristen, little horny ass, jumps up and kisses Daniel and said, oh, no. Fuck no, it's just an annoying friend. I'm single, but it doesn't have to be that way for that long. Next thing you know, Kristen and Daniel was tugging the fuck. Kristen and Daniel was tugging the fuck down, right? After they started kissing and all that, Jax was like, Daniel, we got to roll. Before Daniel left, he was able to get the passwords for Ozzy's devices, right? So now the trial kicks off. Right? And they start calling witnesses. They start calling doctors. They start calling detectives, yada, yada, yada. Every time the prosecution tried to paint Ozzy as a murderer, Jax was able to debunk that and was like, absolutely not. Those claims are false. Y'all have no actual proof of my client being at that cottage, and all of that is BS, right? Ozzy wasn't even in the vicinity the night of the murder, right? Afterwards, that was first day of the trial. Later on that day, Jax decides to go meet up with her mother, right? Her mother's out or something. I liked what her mother was doing. It seems like she might have like a little senior citizen crew. So because of that, she was out with her senior citizen crew and they was doing their walking, trying to stay mobile and exercise and so on and so forth. So when Jax pulled up, her mother was telling her friends, like, oh, there go my daughter. She's representing that big actor, Ozzy. And, you guys pray for her, whatever. So Jax pulls her mother to the side. So she was like, Ma, what's up with you? Like, why you keep telling A.A. Eddie, a.k.a. Jack's father, all my motherfucking fucking business, right? So then Jack starts sharing the exchange that AA Eddie and Lewis got into when Lewis thought he could pull up on my boy AA Eddie, right? And she was like, why you told AA Eddie all about the side baby, my escapades when I cheated on Lewis? Like, Ma, what's your deal? Like, I know you miss having dad around and all that, and I know you want to get a little closer to him, but I do not like you pillow talking about my fucking business to do so. So the mama was like, wait, hold on, Hollywood, hold on. First of all, your father asked, and the key word, he's your father. Second of all, I'm the one that ratted and told your motherfucking business. It was somebody else who did all that, and you got to figure that out on your motherfucking own. And in the meantime, in between time, if I want to pillow talk with my ex, aka your pappy, I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want because I'm a grown-ass woman, the same way you free to do whatever the fuck you want. So I'm be pulling up to no park, asking me no questions, because I don't want to have to show you I made you out without play you. So Jax was like, oh shit. Then the mother just walked up. Now, girl, go to hell, right? Anywho, Jax was just up there with the fucking super face. What happened after that? Kristen is in the house chilling. Y'all know that's Ozzy's sister. And then she gets a call. She gets a visit from Alex, right? Now I'm like, well, who the fuck is Alex? Apparently, Alex is fuck no. That's who she keeps ignoring the phone calls from. So I said, well, who the fuck is Alex? Alex is fuck no. So he said they need to talk. But what he also said was we need to talk about white girl Wendy. So I said, wait a minute, what's Alex want to talk about white girl Wendy for? What the hell is going on and what he know? But I remember Ozzy was in the bathroom and was calling his phone and saying, Alex, where are you? And all of that, right? So he said that reporters have been swarming around his property and making shit hot and messing up his business, air quotes. So he want to know what's going on. And on top of that, he needs another $100,000 because he has to skip town because this case is making him hot in his air quotes business, right? She was like, what? We don't got no $100,000 laying around. We putting a shitload of money in to pay for Ozzy's legal fees. I just gave you $10,000. What the fuck is going on here, right? So I was like, well, wait a minute, what you gave him $10,000 for? Come to find out, Alex is an old co-star of Ozzy's. Right, and it seems as though Alex's career did not go as far as Ozzy's. He might have been a failed actor, and I think he has now turned into a drug dealer. And because of that, he has been supplying Ozzy with the drugs. That's what I believe was going on, right? So Alex told Kristen, "Listen, if you don't give me that money, that prosecutor got Chad that's been snooping around, calling my phone. I'm gonna give him a call back, and not only am I gonna give him a call, I'm gonna send him and all the blog sites this video that I have in my phone." So Kristen was like, "What motherfucking video? I don't know what the fuck you talking about." He said, "Yeah, you'll find out soon enough. I'll get my motherfucking money. Ho, the clock is ticking." Right. So he left out, slammed the door. Bam. So in the next scene, Lewis is meeting up with Daniel. Now y'all know Daniel is a staff member of Jack. So I was wondering why Lewis, Jack's husband, was meeting up with him. What the hell is going on, right? So Lewis reveals that that Jack's father is back in the picture. He's coming back around. So then he was like, oh shit, Jack's never said nothing. And he was like, of course he has some concerns that he feels like his presence being around is putting his family at risk. And he also feels like he might still be getting high. Drunk, he's not sure. So he asked Daniel if he could use one of his GPS trackers to put on AA Eddie's car. So Daniel was like, now wait, you want to go that far to put a GPS tracker? Lewis said, absolutely. So Daniel said, well, listen, I ain't going to give you none of my homemade trackers because that might not work for you, but I can show you one on Amazon that you can order and get tomorrow, and that one might be lit, right? I was like, oh, shit, Daniel, you're a little sneaky, motherfucker, now ain't you, right? In the next scene, the witnesses for the trial start getting more personal. So now we on day 2 of the trial, and they calling up people like Ozzy's neighbors, Ozzy's ex-girlfriend, yada, 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 right? And every time they try to paint a picture of Ozzy like he's a bad guy with a bad temper, he's disrespectful, he's combative, Jax get up there and debunk everything they have to say, right? She basically disarmed his ex-girlfriend because she was trying to go up there and speak about how angry and bitter she was that Ozzy left her for white girl Wendy. And Jax revealed, that's your issue, girl. You got left for a white girl. You don't really hate this motherfucker. He ain't bad as you trying to make it seem, right? In the next scene, Jax gets together with her friends. I keep forgetting that the therapist who did the session with Ozzy is also Jax's pregnant friend. So they was talking, and she was basically telling her that, she asked her, she's like, well, how was Ozzy? And she talked about, oh, he don't want me to say nothing about Monica, and but he's still dealing with her, and because he deals with her, that makes him go deeper into his addiction, and I need to know more. Like, what can I do to help? So the friend was like, well, I tell you what, AAA Eddie back around. If anybody else know about addiction, it would be AA Eddie. I know that Lewis said stay the fuck away from AA Eddie, but that's your pappy, and Lewis got to understand that there's some boundaries. I think you should go talk to AA Eddie about addiction, because he would know better than anybody, and plus that will also help you properly represent your client, Ozzy. So Jax was like, I might have to do that. The other ladies arrived to the dinner, right? So they start asking Sally about her separation from Chris and how the kids are taking it and yada, 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 right? And she was like, listen, it's an uphill battle. On their way out, the last two remaining was Sally and Jax. And Jax was like, let me apologize, Sally. I just was trying to protect you, because I know what I went through when me and Lewis were separated. I don't want them same problems. So I was just trying to, give you some constructive criticism, and I realized that could have came out wrong. So they both apologized to each other and they hugged. I thought that was really nice, right? And then Jax actually takes her friend's advice and she go visit AA Eddie, right? And she asked him like, yo, tell me about your addiction. I know most times when I see you, I'm arguing, I'm fussing, I'm fighting with you, but I really want to know, like, what was it like for you in that lifestyle? So he was like, listen, that shit was heavy. It was heavy. He was like, first of all, I thought I needed drugs to live. And, whenever I watch these type of shows, it's very personal for me because, again, I come from a family of addicts. And B, it's just sad to know that a person can have a codependency or something that's so dangerous to them. And he was like, to the point that, I put it before everything because, once again, I thought I needed it to live. So it was so sad to hear him talk about it. And then he started talking about, like, who provided it to him, which was basically the people around him, managers, friends, those are the people that provided substance for him. Okay. So then, meanwhile, they're in the house, they're in the hotel, because that's where AA Eddie is staying. And him and Jax is talking. Lewis nut ass is outside putting the GPS track on AA Eddie's car. As he's doing that, he sees Jax leaving. So he like, oh, I told this bitch don't be bothered with this nigga. But he's so focused on getting the GPS on the car, he don't say nothing, right? The next day at the prosecutor's office, who was sitting in there? Ding, 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 ding. Alex. I'm guessing he didn't get the 100K, right? So he was like, listen, I'm here to talk about Ozzy Edwards, but I need some legal protection before I do so. The prosecutors agreed, and he started running his goddamn mouth, right? Daniel is bugging Crystal about dating advice, following her around. Crystal is my homegirl, right? She always dressed so nice plus size girl, right? She was like, listen, just do what you got to do to make the shit work. Day 3 of trial, they call Cash Dog to the stand, right? So they talk about, Cash Dog gets up there and she talks about being white girl Wendy's best friend and how their relationship that they shared was toxic, her and Ozzy, because you could never tell what type of mood Ozzy gonna be in. 1 minute he up, 1 minute he down, 1 minute he love him, 1 minute he don't. And she was like, that was like, it's basically like seeing her friend suffer, but she know how much her friend loved Ozzy. So she never really said nothing. She just minded her business. So when Jax went up there, she was like, well, let me ask a question. I noticed that white girl Wendy wasn't even cold in her motherfucking grave before you was sending out to her clients how you took over the business and how you the queen bee now. You sure you ain't the one that unalive white girl Wendy? She was like, oh shit. The crowd was like, oh shit. Jax was like, strike that from the record. I was like, all right, Jax. So, now they got the jury looking, peeking at somebody else. Jax is a good lawyer. She is a good lawyer, right? So anywho, Lewis nut ass is still chasing around AA Eddie. I don't know why he's doing that. And Jax take it upon herself to run down on Monica, right? Because she was like, listen, I need you to reveal your true intentions with Ozzy so we can know what the fuck is going on. Monica is Mercedes. Mercedes, take your ass back to the bank. Mercedes said, wait, hold on, ho. I've been around, so don't come questioning me about no motherfucking Ozzy. I saved Ozzy motherfucking life. I took advantage of him while I was doing so, but I saved his motherfucking life. And what the fuck are you caring about it for? Because you only around for the same reason I'm around. We both benefit from being in Ozzy life. Because when you first came and we were telling you that he needed representation and that white girl was alive, you didn't have this case to think about. You gave us some friendly advice and kept it moving. But when your firm found out this was a high profile, possibly alleged murder trial, all of a sudden your Ozzy's best interest is in your heart. Girl, get the fuck on. I know what the fuck you doing. You know what the fuck I'm doing, and both of us ain't doing right, but we doing it. So don't be running down on me about a nigga I've been holding down all this time and you just got here, ho. Move up. I said, okay, Mercedes. The paint came out. The paint came out right there. Jack said, stay the fuck away from Ozzy. Whatever, ho. Move up. Lewis and Daniel meet up again for him to tell Daniel that he thinks that AA Eddie need NA again because he's still on drugs. Why he's telling Daniel all of this, I really don't know, because I really don't think it's Daniel's business. But then I see why, because he says to Daniel, listen, I'm telling you all this because I need to dig a little deep, and I need your help, because I know you're a nosy little ling that can dig deep. So I'm going to need you to help me. So Daniel said, now listen here now. I ain't got no issue with helping you, but I don't work for free, my nigga. I work for Jack's, not for you, and I get a check from her, so you won't have to pay me. Lewis was like, I got you. I got your money. Afterwards, Chanel showed up at Chris's house. Chris's Sally's trying to separate X situation. And it looks like Chanel and Chris might be cousins. And the reason why they lost the house is because of Chanel and all this messed up stuff. So Chanel was just basically telling Chris, don't string this poor girl along. If you know you don't plan on getting back with her, you're not going to treat her like shit and drag her through. If it's over, let it be the fuck over. Don't do it like that. Day 4. The prosecution is taking Alex on the witness stand, right? So they start to he starts to share his version of the story, which is he said that he was with Ozzy the night of the unaliving of Wendy. He said he is a drug dealer. He did bring the drugs there. Ozzy got high as a motherfucking kite and actually drove up to the cottage. He said he drove Ozzy up to the cottage. He heard the rustling, tussling. He heard the gunshot, and he sped off into the nightlife. He don't know what happened. He got afraid. He just had to get off the scene, and then he disappeared after that because he didn't want to be listed as an accomplice in none of the BS, right? So Jack said, well, is there any proof that Ozzy was in the car with you? Because I know it's proof that you drove up to the cottage, right? You got all of it's on your GPS, and you have the ticket from this center. So we know you went up to the cottage. But do you have any proof that Ozzy was in the car with you when you went up to the cottage? And he was like, no. He was like, oh, okay. So we have proof that you was up at the cottage, but not Ozzy. So you sure it was Ozzy that unallowed white girl went there? Was it your ass? I said, oh shit now. What shit? So he was like, no, I would never. He started getting upset. The prosecution is pissed off because she disarmed him. Listen, you're not going to get up here and blame that on me or blame that on my client. It probably was your ass and you just trying to get up here and blame it on him. The prosecution going to kill Jack's ass. So anywho, in the next scene, Chris and Sally, it seemed like they still be sleeping together every now and again. That's why Chanel was basically telling Chris, leave this girl alone. You keeping her feelings involved by still hitting it. She got up to leave, but Chris was like, where you going? She's like, I got to go to work. So he was like, how about with the holiday season coming up, you come spend a holiday with at my mom's house, all of us with the kids, right? So she was like, well, listen, Chris, I'm getting a little confused. Are you doing this because you really want to be with me? Or are you just doing this for the kids? He was like, I'm just doing this for the kids. She was like, well, I can't do it no more. And Sally went in her bag and pulled out the divorce papers and served his fucking ass. And he was mortified. And the next scene, Crystal and Daniel get together. And he inquires about the relationship between Kristen and Alex, because it did seem like Kristen and Alex was messing around a little bit. Kristen was like, listen, I ain't got that. I ain't have Alex to think about. He was a failed actor. Then he turned into Daniel. He turned into Ozzy's supplier. She was like, other than that, I ain't got time for him. I only got time for you because I like you. Because you gonna hit this shit or not. So there you said, I ain't got no problem hitting it. He pulled out his tongue and gave her a lashing of a lifetime, right? While he's there munching, Jax is calling him, right? So she's saying on the voicemail, Daniel, where you at? Because I want you to look into Monica's alibi for the night of Wendy's murder, because she think that Monica is who on the live white girl, Wendy, right? Ozzy is calling Monica to vent about Alex and his lying ass testimony, because he said he no good and got there. Well, he didn't drive him no motherfucking way. He left him high and dry in the motherfucking house and he disappeared. So maybe he the fucking one that did it. While he's talking to Monica, Monica got some evidence in her hand and she's over there with some blood or some sweater, throwing it in some bonfire, letting Ozzy know, listen, I'm over here protecting you. Monica, what the fuck was that you burning up? Was that white girl Wendy bloody sweater? Did you unallow white girl Wendy? We got to see what the hell is going on. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode number 5 of Reasonable Doubt season 3. I'm enjoying the show. It's heating up. I want to see what's going to be the outcome with this whole Ozzy trial, but I also need them to wrap this up because I'm ready to hear about more cases and I want to see Jax get busy. And I think her position at the firm going to get threatened. And I think some ish going to jump off with Lewis and the Pappy again. I think the Pappy might fuck Lewis up, but we got to see. We got to see. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in. And even if you don't want to watch the show, continue to watch my reviews and make sure you give me your feedback. Tonight, we will be doing Lit at 6. So get yourself ready because in a couple of hours, I will be going live for Lit at 6. We're going to talk about Wendy Osefo, phony ass. We're going to talk about Aisha Curry. We're going to talk about Britt Eady. We got some things to get into. So make sure you are tuned in. As always, I appreciate you guys and I see you at 6. Until then, bye-bye.